Hello, hello. Just give me 1 second, please. Okay. Hello, hello, welcome. Hello, Carla, can you hear me? Let me ask here. Yes, thank you. So I hope on YouTube we're good as well. Um, Today we are going to talk about anxiety, irritation, frustration, and a couple more of uncomfortable feelings. So just give me 1 minute because I'm receiving a message here that something is not working. 1 second. Carla, if you want to share with me while I fix this problem, uh, how you feeling today? Can you name any uncomfortable feeling? Irritation. Okay, good. Okay, so let's dive into the work. I hope this internet is helping me so I don't talk by myself. Okay, I think you're back. Okay, great. Okay, so I want to start by saying that it's really common as us human beings to experience uncomfortable feelings. So it is part of us to feel anxiety, to feel sad, to feel irritated, to feel all this range of emotions that we wish we did not feel. So I want to say that this is a universal pain, right? Like all human beings, in some level, feel anxious, in some level, feel irritated, and so on. Obviously, we not necessarily feel that way in all areas of our life. So, for example, um, sometimes, let's see what's happening here. Okay, I got it. So sometimes we might feel anxious regarding a certain area of our life, let's say our work or our relationships. Sometimes we will feel irritated regarding a certain person or a certain situation, a certain way that things work, and we don't like in that way. So we are irritated about that, So, anyways, it's super common for us, and it's a universal pain because somewhere in our lives we are feeling those type of feelings. It's important that we notice that it's not like, oh, I am anxious. Yes, you can see yourself as an anxious person, overall. But if you really look deep inside of you, you will see that there are areas of your life that you will feel more anxiety about, and so on. So I have talked about before in another talk about the fragmented parts of our beings. Uh, and I also said that the rejection of these parts is actually what causes us pain. So, what do you mean, Ella? Since maybe you haven't watched the talk. So, basically, we have to understand this. We are human beings and we feel all range of emotions, the ones that we consider good and the ones that we consider bad. So this part of us that, let's say, makes us anxious regarding something, or makes us irritated or be afraid, is not a part of us that actually wants to sabotage ourselves. We talked about this in the fragmented parts of our being. Meaning, whenever you think, oh, why do I do this? Why am I self sabotaging myself? Why I don't believe in that word, in that word? The reason why is there is no part of you that is against yourself. If you are having these things that you consider self sabotages, it's actually this part of you that is trying to protect yourself from pain. Meaning, one example, if you have had an abusive relationship, I don't know, there is going to be a part inside of you that will be afraid of relating to the other, right? So this part of you that actually, there is this conscious part of you that wants a healthy relationship. However, when you are inside a healthy relationship, somehow you start creating discussions, you start trying to escape somehow, and you're like, why am I sabotaging myself? And the truth is, it's not this part of you, it's not really trying to sabotage you, it's trying to protect you. So, okay, Ella, since we know that it's normal for us to feel everything that we actually feel because we are human beings, how do we deal with this part of us that actually goes against everything that we want? Well, that's where we're going to talk a little bit here on this live. The important part that I want to remind you that we talked in that talk is the amount you resist to something is equal to the amount of the pain you feel. Okay, so keep that in mind, that sentence. So, going back to a practical way, if we really think about it, you can deal with any discomfort feeling in two ways. So, I have asked Carla, and she has shared here with us the irritation, right? She's feeling irritated today. So, I invite you, Carla, to actually focus on that, right? And someone else, whatever, get a discomfort feeling that you're feeling right now. It can be you're feeling rejected, you're feeling alone, whatever discomfort feeling, you're feeling anxiety, whatever you're feeling as of right now. And you're gonna think about that. You can deal with this discomfort feelings in two ways. One is to pretend that you're not feeling it. By the way, that's usually what us human do. And even though we are here doing this work, understand that I have repeated this 10,000 times. It's not a line that you cross and you actually become illuminated and you actually become, you're never going to have problems again in your life. That's not how it works. So you might be able to work really with more ease in your irritation, and it's going to require more work for you to work on your anxiety, for instance. So remember that it's all a process and a work that we do. Okay, so I'm gonna invite you right now to see, because there are areas of your life and uncomfortable feelings that you are actually avoiding, and we do that all the time. And by the way, if I could suggest, I think we do that most of the time. That's what we call when people are not awake. We actually just react. We are so used to that that we don't even realize we're doing it. So, what is the two ways that we deal with this. The first one is this thing that we all do, which is we try to avoid the discomfort. So we pretend it is not there. If we cannot pretend that much, what we try to do is we try to distract ourselves. So we can, you know, go and get a drink, we can go on our phones, we do whatever in order to distract ourselves so we don't deal with that discomfort. Also, one other option that we do a lot, and especially not knowing, is we try to manipulate the outside world for that specific situation so we can fix whatever we are feeling in that moment. So I'm going to give you an example so you understand exactly what I'm saying here. Well, you might say and notice, let's say, that you are jealous. You're jealous of your significant other. You actually suffer. There is a discomfort feeling that you think inside of you that somehow that person is going to betray you, that you're jealous. You know, let's say whenever that person is out, you have these intense feelings inside and you start feeling tense and you don't feel good. Okay, and then we named this feeling, let's say jealousy. How we try to manipulate that in the outside world? Well, what we try to do is, I think that my problem is my jealousy. But you know what? That person gives me reasons for me to be jealous. So what do you try to do? You avoid going to the root cause and you try to change the external world. So what do you do? Okay, listen, let's have an agreement here. One agreement is, uh, let's say you can come up with different ideas. So one is, okay, if you go out with your friends and I'm not there, you have to send me texts, you have to send me pictures, and because in this way I'm going to be more at peace and be able to deal with my jealousy. Another option, of another example of trying to control the outside world. You know what, if I don't go, you don't go. Another situation, anyways, I think you got the point. You try to, and this is the interesting part, because if we take this type of actions in the outside world, somehow we're going to lie to ourselves, because that unease feeling of jealousy, it will stop by for that second. You, let's say you receive the picture and you're like, oh wow, yes, nothing is going on, he's truly just working, or he's truly just joying with his friends. So somehow you lie to your own self, but your body, you fixed the problem of that uncomfortable feelings for that moment. But if we're being honest to ourselves, are we actually fixing any problem? Are we actually working on feeling our peace? No, because then in another week, it's going to be another type of situation that is going to come up. So there are two ways to do with this. The first way is the one I just described. The second way is for us to do the only work that actually lasts and actually produces personal transformation, which is the internal work. So instead of us fixing the jealousy on the outside, I have the ability to work on my jealousy and integrate that inside in order for me to start working on my trust, start feeling all these feelings. That's how I heal and integrate my jealousy, for example. This, which is that I am proposing here, uh, is is a path, is a work that we are constantly going to do. And the main difference between being not awake and doing this work that I'm inviting you to do, which is a journey that you take step by step. Our problem is we are under the stairs and we don't want to take the first step. We don't want to do this work. We want to achieve and be at peace looking at the end of the stairs. So you cannot jump. That's the one thing also the human beings have that so much. We want everything for now and as of right now. Well, you have to take the first step in order to take the second step in order to reach that high step. Correct? So the invitation of this work is for us to understand that different than pushing, which is what we do when we try to pretend it's not there, that uncomfortable feeling is not there, when we try to manipulate the outside world, how people should do, how people should behave, how situations should be. Whenever we, in that state of our consciousness, or let's put it, unconsciousness, we try to push, we try to force. Everything takes so much effort. Whenever I start doing this work, is actually the opposite. We just have to have discipline and willpower to do this work because nothing is going to happen inside this work through pushing. You cannot heal yourself and integrate these parts of you through pushing. Okay, Ella, so what you are actually telling me? I am telling you that my invitation for you to deal with any discomfort feelings, anxiety, frustration, irritation, you name it is by observing it. Whenever you observe that and allow that feeling to manifest, is exactly when it comes to your consciousness. And right now, you can deal with it. You can make a choice. And when you make simply a choice without effort, because it's literally a choice, when you make that choice without effort, you will see that the outside world changes as a consequence. You don't actually have to do anything besides work on your own self in order for you to see these words changing, the word outside changing. And why is that? Because every change always happens from the inside out. But we are so sleepy that we still believe it happens from the outside in. Whenever I get that job, I'm going to be happy. Whenever that situation is fixed, I'm going to feel at peace. Whenever I get that relationship, I will feel good. I will feel happy. And that's our mistake. And that's where uh, we bring ourselves even further away from our true power. So my invitation is, whenever you are perceiving that those feelings, ask yourself, uh, what is the truth? What is truly what I am feeling? So the whole thing that we need to agree here in order to do this work is actually the acceptance that we lie to our own selves. Ella, why do we lie to ourselves? The simple reason is because we all do. And the problem is that with that is, let's say, as I explained it, I think was yesterday, we are a light. So imagine a light right here. This is who we are. And then, because of our defenses, because of our understanding and thoughts that we have to protect ourselves, we start covering our light and who we are with all these defense mechanisms, limiting beliefs, and so on, the name you want to give it. So, why do we lie to ourselves? This is who we are. We created all of this in order to defend ourselves, to avoid pain, because that's what we do. We don't want to be in discomfort. So this is natural to the human being. So the invitation is accept that you lie to yourself. It's not about the lie you say to others. You believe in your own lies. So the invitation is for us to simply, how we do the work that I'm proposing is, the first step we need to do is we need to say the truth to ourselves. But because we have been believing in things that are far away from reality for so long, it's going to take a work for us to actually be able to tell the truth to our own selves. And at this stage of our work together, this is exactly what we're going to be doing. We are focusing on understanding how we can tell the truth to our own self. So, how do we do this? I'm going to give you step by step, but simple questions. For example, ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Why? What am I protecting myself from? Another one that sometimes help me out when I am really in the verge, when I'm really involved and identified with that pain, with that anxiety, let's say. Okay, if the worst thing I can think of happens, what in reality would happen to me? Now we start bringing back ourselves into reality. Okay, the worst that it can happen is this, and if it happens, I'm gonna deal with this. So, do I really need to feel that much fear, to feel that much nervousness, anxiety, and so on? So that's how we start telling the truth to our own self. So the first and foremost understanding for us to be able to accept this truth that I'm telling you is nothing happens to you. You are not a victim of the world. You are you are the only one responsible for your feelings. And now you can tell me you are absolutely nuts. That person did that to me, and that's not my responsibility, and I am feeling this way. Okay, great. Let me try to invite you to think about this for a different perspective, which is a person could have done anything, the same exact thing to me and to you. However, for you, because of what you believe, because of your internal content inside of your soul, you're going to perceive that action of that person, and you're going to start, and you're going to feel something, right? So you're going to this action of that person is going to start making you feel, think something. Actually, regarding that, you're going to think something, and that is going to create a feeling inside of you. And how you are going to feed that feeling is absolutely up to you. So if you think that that action, let's say, is unjust, it's not fair, your brain, your thoughts are going to keep feeding you with many reasons why that is unfair. And what that's going to cause into your body, what is the emotion that is going to come? So you're going to start feeling tense. You're going to start feeling frustrated. You're going to start being in denial. I'm just giving you examples. And now the exact same thing was done to me. However, the way I feel, the way I perceive by my internal content is exactly different. Let's say it's the opposite of you. And somehow the feelings that I am feeding are, well, maybe that person has some reason. Let me try to investigate me if there is any reason why. Oh, wow, that's true. Sometimes I am like this. Oh, well, okay, now I figure out something about myself. Great, whatever. So for us to understand that you are responsible for what it happens to you. It's the same that example that everybody talks about. Two kids were raised by one alcoholic parent. One became an alcoholic, another one became an advocate for healthy life. Same thing happened to them. How they perceive, how they fed their thoughts, and they decided to leave their reality. It's up to each individual. So the invitation of this work is, okay, if I am responsible for my feelings, doesn't matter what happened to me, I am responsible on how I respond to that. That's great news, because now I can choose how I respond to that. So I can choose my feelings. Obviously, this requires work. And why? We are so used to avoid discomfort that is in the human being that whenever we feel that, we try everything we can. We try to fix the situation, the outside world. We try to pretend it's not happening. Maybe if too much, we're going to do a meditation for anxiety that can help us for 20 minutes. But after that, we still feel that feeling. So if you truly want to work on your anxiety, on your depression, on your irritation, in all these feelings, this is the work. That's the only route you can take, is go to the root cause of the problem. And by that, all it requires of you is willpower, observation, patience, love towards your own self, because you can aim to be that person, but accepting that as of this moment, you are this person is also part of the process. So, exactly. So I wrote here for us that, as I already said, it's on my own power find my strength and will in order to decide what are the thoughts I will feed. Will I keep feeding my fear, or will I choose to feed my trust? Uh, Again, when I already shared this with you, whenever we figure out our true power, that's the power that I told you that is here. That's who we truly are. That's when our life truly start changing. However, much more than understanding this intellectually, because that's what I am telling you here. You can understand my words intellectually, but this is not going to be of any value if you actually don't put into practice daily in your life. Whenever you start, whenever you give the first step on that stair that I told you, you're going to work today easily while you are doing other things, in getting to know yourself, in telling you the truth. And then we're going to start working and integrating all of those feelings. So, because I always want to bring you practical tools, I also have to tell you here, it's obviously not going to happen in one live, that you're going to fix. No, I'm here giving you a journey, a step you can follow in order for you to every day gradually more be able to perceive the changes in your life. Because as I said, you're not going to be working the consequence happens by itself. You're going to be working on the source, on the cause. So the invitation here is how you're going to do this exercise, Ella. We are going to learn how to observe ourselves. Practical example. I invite you to think about a situation that was discomfort for you. It might be a discussion you had with someone, something at work, something in your relationship, whatever it is. Think about a situation that caused you some type of pain. Now, what is the first thing that you're going to notice? First step, what was happening? So you're going to tell yourself, I was in this table. There were two people talking. A discussion started. You're going to tell yourself what was happening. So that's the first thing you are invited to look. And then that person said something. Okay? So whenever you notice that, we go to the second step. The second step is whenever that person said something, how did I feel? So now you're understanding what triggered us that feeling. So I felt wronged. You have to name it. I felt rage. I felt sad. You're going to name what you have felt. That's how we start working in this process of us, of understanding um, our true self, of being able to actually tell ourselves the truths. Okay, so first analyze, see the situation, tell yourself what was happened. Then you're going to tell yourself what did you feel, because whatever did you feel, that was when what triggered. Now we go to the other step, which is I invite you to stay in that discomfort, because as we have discussed in many previous talks here, we truly try to avoid discomfort at all the costs. So the invitation is for you. Okay, let's say you pick up you are feeling sad. I invite you in the comfort and of your room, on a safe space, whatever it is that you are. Cry out that feeling. I am not inviting you to fix that feeling. I'm not inviting you to understand that feeling. I'm not inviting you to do anything with that. I'm inviting you. You came to your consciousness that you were feeling sad. I'm inviting you to sit down there and cry out your sadness. Are you feeling rage? Stay there and feel all of that, what that feeling causes in your body. My jaws are locked. I stop breathing. I have pain here. Whatever it is, simply observe, simply notice. The invitation is for us to start feeling comfortable every time. It's not even comfortable, it's for us to start feeling more at ease when feeling uncomfort, discomfort feelings. However, there is something that you really have to pay attention here, which is like this. If you are there and you're feeling that pain, let's say you are sad and you're crying it out, notice that your mind, your brain is going to start feeding your thoughts that will become your emotion of why you have the right to be feeling that way, and will be feeding. The invitation is, whenever you notice that all the justifications your mind is giving you, I invite you to simply observe like a cloud that passes and leaves, because my invitation is for us to go back to feeling. That's exactly what we are afraid of, and this changes everything. So again, you're not feeding that mind that justifies. You're simply feeling the pain. You're feeling sad, so you're crying out that sadness. This should last tops 1 to 2 minutes. Tops. If you keep there and you cannot leave that loop of thinking about how that was wrong, or thinking about your sadness, that means something else, which is we are attached to that story. Then the hole is a little bit deeper. We are attached to that story. We want to receive attention from someone else. We want someone to come and save us and fix our problems. This is another part of the story. So the simple invitation of these exercises, that's this exercise, that's where we are as of right now, is exactly this. We are invited right now to simply observe what happened, name the feeling, and stay there with the feeling. Don't do anything with that. As soon as you cry that out, great, keep going with your day. Do not keep thinking about that. That's the invitation. Then we're going to go into other healing tools and go a little bit more into this journey. Another thing I want to share with you is, as I said, we are immediate beings, right? We want everything for right now. We want to fix our problems and situations in this second. That's who we are. So obviously, you can use different tools. You can work with a crystal. You can put meditation for anxiety, meditation for this and that can help you. This is absolutely valid. Okay, like if you are feeling the need to do that, absolutely sit and do that for you. Help yourself out. However, understand that these immediate things, yes, they are great. They're going to help us out. They are tools we should explore because they help us out. That's perfect. However, don't forget, don't lose sight of, uh, of the path that we are walking. And literally, this path is not about adding anything extra. It's actually about taking away everything that is keeping us far from our truth, everything that we like to our own selves. It's not about the other. Okay, since I want to start doing these talks literally for 30 minutes tops, because it's super hard for me to talk less than an hour, I just want to bring another, insight here for us to think about something, which is, in other talks, we talk about the life only happens in the present moment. That's why it's called the present, right? So this is the only time that really exists. Whenever we are feeling depressed, we are living in the past. We are not accepting something that happened to us. We don't have, maybe we're missing some type of fate to understand that our soul has gone through that for our evolution, because we were ready to actually face those pain, face those fears. But again, we don't have this understanding because we want to avoid at all costs that. Remember that, as I said in the beginning, resistance equal to the pain we feel. So remember also that we live in this duality. So in the way you can feel one polarity of the energy, you can feel the other. Meaning, if we are still afraid of death, that means we are still afraid of life. And this we can put in all dualities. But these are just insights. We're not bringing this into depth right now. Right? So I'm inviting you to think that if I am depressed, somehow I'm attached to my past and maybe I'm not accepting what it was. I'm not understanding and having faith that that was the best that could have done to me for me to grow, for me to learn something new, for me to have a different perspective. And if we are anxious, we are living in the future because we're trying to fix a problem that does not even exist. And guess what? Can we fix a problem that doesn't exist? We cannot. And because of that, we feel anxious because we think about something that can happen in the future, but as of right now, we cannot do anything. So look everything that we are creating inside of us. And the interesting part about all of this is whenever we're trying to fix a problem that is not here yet, we are anxious. And most of the time it's because we are afraid. Again, we're not trusting life, we're not trusting our path, we're not trusting a lot of things. But, anyways, we are afraid. And the crazy thing about the human being is we do not know. Our body perceives our fear in the same way it perceives a real fear. So there is the illusion fear and the real fear. What do you mean, Ella? The real fear is I'm in danger at this very moment. I'm in the middle of the forest. There is a lion in front of me. I am in danger. What does my body is going to do for me? It's going to inject me full of hormones here in order for me to fight or flight because literally my life is in danger. So my body is going to try to react in the best way possible for me to survive. What happens is whenever we are anxious, the chemicals in our bodies that our body produces is the same. We are afraid of the future, let's say in this way, since I'm talking about anxiety. You're producing the same chemicals, but guess what? You don't have the problem. So you cannot truly decide if you're going to fight or flight. So we keep creating and this whole discomfort in our life, not even noticing that, wow, the true cause is literally that's the root. My true problem is not what's going to happen in the future. My true problem, that is the invitation here for us to heal and work on, is the root cause of this. And this lies inside of me. So, Ella, how do we start all of this? Truly by starting the simple exercise that I gave you today. Perceive the situation. Second step, tell yourself what did you feel. Don't justify your feelings. I felt this because of that. No, I don't care. How did you feel? Name that. Be honest to yourself. You can be honest to yourself. Don't do nothing with that feeling. Third step, you're gonna see there, feel that feeling. 1, 2 minutes, stand up and go. You will see that the next time that not the same situation happened, but whatever situation happens that you would feel that feeling, you would notice that you're going to feel a little bit less, and you're going to cry out that feeling again and then again and then again until literally this changes. This doesn't affect you in the way it used to. So that's what I told you. We're not focusing on the consequence. We are not focusing on the result. We're actually focused on the work, on the journey, on the path. So thank you so much for being here. 40 minutes, hopefully next time 30. But I hope you have enjoyed this talk. And thank you so much for being here. Good to see you here, Barbara and Luisa. So I will see you all next time. Have a great day and bye bye.